Welcome everyone. Jai Bhim, Jai Bharat, Namo Buddhaya. Today again we have with us Mr. Amrit Lal Rawal ji, Mr. A.L. Rawal ji, and it's my third meeting with him. He has been one of the first publisher of Dalit literature in Delhi and started his work in 1984. He had been a professor of English. I know him for over 12 years. So welcome, sir, and thank
Thank
you
you.
very much for giving your precious time. Today, I can see the image of Bhagat Singh ji behind you, and
Yes,
you have also published his book, "Why I Am an Atheist," his ideas.
Mm.
But today, if we look at the world, particularly India, do you think India has done anything what Bhagat Singh ji had sacrificed for himself? I had been to an organization recently, and they generally put images of Bhagat Singh ji, Rajguru, and Sukhdev ji. But have we done anything? What was their ideology? Could you please tell to our audiences?
yes. Actually, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk on your channel. Uh, it's a very popular channel so far as Ambedkarites are concerned. Now, so far as the photograph of Sardar Bhagat Singh is concerned, actually, this photograph was published in a calendar issued by the National Book Trust. So I took out that page of the calendar and got it framed. So therefore, this is the original photo of Sardar Bhagat Singh. Now, so far as his ideology and work is concerned, I want to say that Sardar Bhagat Singh made a bigger sacrifice before he was hanged. He had sacrificed his hair, and for a Sikh, sacrificing his hair is more important and more of higher value than his life. Therefore, he sacrificed his hair for the sake of the country, and he went to Calcutta in the company of Durga Bhabi. There was a seminar conducted at Delhi University by the Department of History. In that seminar, it was said that the revolutionary women who were in the company of Sardar Bhagat Singh and others, they quoted Mahatma Gandhi saying that they were the Nach girls of the revolutionaries. I mean, those ladies who were working for the country, sacrificing their personal and domestic life for the country, they were dubbed as Nach girls of the revolutionaries. And this comment was made by none other than Mahatma Gandhi. So this is a very serious, charge which was leveled at Delhi University, the history department seminar on the revolutionary women in the company of Sardar Bhagat Singh. So far as the contribution of Sardar Bhagat Singh is concerned, I want to say that he was under the influence of the philosophy of those times. Actually, it was a time when nationalism was dubbed as a virus. Rabindranath Tagore said that nationalism is a virus. Therefore, most of the people from Bengal, they became internationalists or communists. So this is the reason why there was this was like stabbing the nationalist movement in the back. Sardar Bhagat Singh has always, he sacrificed his life. It's okay, he did not believe in any god or anything. It was his personal view. uh, that's all.
About Rabindranath Tagore, his grandfather of Rabindranath Tagore, he was actually Rabindranath Thakur, but British used to call him. Tagore because they couldn't pronounce Thakur. So Rabindranath Thakur's grandfather was financier of East India Company, and then Rabindranath Tagore became like anti-British, anti-establishment person. Who was he actually? Could you give a brief about, because it's a lot. There's a lot of literature, a lot of things, but you can give specifically because you have read a lot. So who actually he was? Was he anti-establishment or not?
No, he was actually because he did not believe in nationalism, therefore, he was an internationalist. And most of the people from Bengal, they were internationalists at that time. The third Comintern was held, and there the Indian communists said that when India gets free, then we shall frame such rules and laws and policies which will be of use, which will help the Soviet Union in its global goals. So they had already tagged, the Indian people to the British or to the Soviet. I mean, they thought that in that Indians are born to be slaves and they shall always remain slaves. And so, therefore, we have only to change a master. When the British leave, then the Soviets would be our masters, they will be our rulers. I mean, this is the worst of philosophy, worst of thought, which can plague, which can be a curse for any country. That the leaders think that let the British go and then Soviets would be our masters. This was, their philosophy. And there was an MP of Shiv Sena. He had a channel also, a TV channel also he had, and his younger brother was, I mean, he conducted a seminar at India International Center. This seminar was on literature, and he said at the very outset, he said that nationalism is bogus and something like that. He said that, and I mean, he also imitated what Rabindranath Tagore had said. I mean, he was the brother of the MP of Shiv Sena. He had a channel PNC. So, I mean, this is a philosophy when you are wrong in your basics, then you cannot, give a correct vision or view to guide the country. For example, Dr. Ambedkar always believed that I mean, that he said that he would remain within the Indian cultural periphery. Therefore, he embraced Buddhism. He had considered joining Christianity or Sikhism, but he rejected Islam and Christianity. Although he had a high regard for Sikhism, but he ultimately embraced Buddhism because Buddhism is a religion which was born in the Indian continent, Indian subcontinent. Therefore, this is the basic philosophy that you are true to the culture of your country. So only then you can give the correct philosophy, correct views. Whereas others, they simply imitated what the West said.
Coming to a book which you have published, Buddhism in India after Dr. Ambedkar. Am I right, sir? That's the title of
Yes,
it.
yes,
Could you
yes,
please
yes.
give a brief on that book? Because many people buy that book actually from me. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Actually, Mr. DC he had offered that he wants to write a book on, the present condition of Buddhism after Dr. Ambedkar. So he compiled it, he wrote it, and he gave it.
Okay. But
And he also
but
gave
so
the photographs.
and so what was the position of Buddhism after Dr. Ambedkar?
Actually, Buddhism after Dr. Ambedkar has been flourishing. But again, as you said earlier, that it's not so flourishing. Actually, the thing is that we are meeting threats from all sides. These threats are very serious, and therefore we have to meet these threats.
There is something I like to add. Like when I wanted to, like when my marriage ceremony question came, I did my initial ceremony through Buddhist rites. Like Roka, I did through Buddhist rites. But during marriage, some of my grandmothers, they said, we will do our own puja. We will do the puja of Ganesh. So I didn't write the name of Ganesh. I wrote the name of Buddha on my wedding card. But I found that there is also a lack of like social structure properly, like because people are not. I mean, not this mass conversion is one thing, but there's also, I think, that you don't get the social environment, the social support actually when like
Mm.
the important times like marriage or any other ceremonies. And
I attended your marriage actually. I was there till
I
one
had to
o'clock.
I had to follow them actually because they wanted to do all their own things. And
Yes.
so, but
So actually, one has to.
yeah, yes, carry on, you carry on.
I attended your marriage and I was there up to 1 a.m. actually when it was too late. So then I came, it was 1 a.m. at night. So the dinner was very good, and I had the dinner also, and then I came because it was getting too late. Now, so far as the puja is concerned, one has to, listen to the family also. So the elders, after all, we live in our family. So if you had your marriage ceremony held according to Buddhist rites, then it was quite okay.
I have also seen that there are many people who are like a Buddhist, but they don't follow Buddhism. Following Buddhism is like following his teachings. And many people don't know when they read the book Buddha and His Dham, the Buddha and His Dham by Dr. Ambedkar ji. There's a specific sutra, there are specific sutras saying that Buddha did not criticize yag. He criticized the sacrifice of animal in the yag. That people,
Yes.
yeah, mistakes him for not doing yag. Buddha didn't
Hmm.
criticize yag. He said that I don't like such animal sacrifice in the yag. He didn't criticize praising the lords. Many of his
Hmm.
teaching, many of his talkings are with the celestial beings like Yaksh and Dev. So people take it in a social way. Sir, coming to the budget of this year 2025, today is 4th February 2025. What's your
Hmm.
stand on the budget?
Actually, I think that the current budget of 2025 is quite good for the middle class family because there are 43 crore middle class people in the country, and they have not been taxed, and in fact their income tax limit has been increased to 12 lakhs. So it is a big relief for them. For example, I won't have to pay. I won't have to pay any tax now. Whereas earlier I used to pay more than a lakh rupees as my income tax. So in this way, if the middle class is spared, is given some relief, then they will buy goods, they will buy things, and it is the middle class which buys things in large quantities, and this runs the economy. So it is a
So
good budget,
that
I
number
think.
of taxpayers which are like 12 lakh and above, they are very lesser like because the minimum wages are not increasing. So I mean, I tell you my own experience. Firstly, the government jobs are not increasing. Secondly, the most of the government jobs are contract based. There are over, I think, 12 lakh vacant jobs, including the armed forces. Now, when I started selling books of Dr. Ambedkar, there were many people like before COVID. I mean, in 2010, 11, 12, they were government employees. Now, people are not coming into the government jobs. They are not buying. Even the people who are not in the government jobs, they were also buying. They are also not buying because the buying capacity, the wages haven't been increased, and inflation has risen above our expectation. So there is a lot of burden already on the people in the like average earning of in Bihar is 6,000 rupees. So how could you
Hmm.
expect like Bihar is the by population it is the second most populated state. But if you look at the
Yes.
area, it has the more density of population than Uttar Pradesh.
Hmm.
So its population
Hmm.
is over 14 crore, Uttar Pradesh is 20 crore, but the area is less than half. So how could you expect like people in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, if we conclude, almost 35 crore people, they are having less
Hmm.
than 6,000 rupee or 10,000 rupee earning per month.
Hmm. Actually, we published a book on Bihar also. It was called Understanding Bihar by Dr. A.K. Biswas. He was an IAS officer of Bihar cadre, and I have also met many people, many laborers from Bihar. Once I was coming in a train, and the bogie was full of workers coming from Bihar, so there was no space even to sit. It was a unreserved compartment. So I talked to many of them, and they said that there is work in Bihar, but there is no money in Bihar. It means that the people, the high caste, people who have the money, they don't give fair wages. In fact, there was a meeting, there was a seminar at Gandhi Peace Foundation, which was attended by the Deputy Speaker of the Rajya Sabha, Mr. Rai. So he was also there, and there, people were praising those who don't ask for money, for remuneration for the work which they do. So I thought that this is the reason why there is poverty in Bihar and there is nothing is being done. I mean, people, they get things done without paying fair wages to the workers in Bihar. And Mr. Rai was also there. I was shocked that how can such things can be said, where people work very hard. They are very hardworking people, people from Bihar, but they are not paid fair wages. So this is the reason why in Bihar there is poverty.
So today I saw a video by a very young person from Pilani, BITS Pilani, and he was telling about almost 15 AI tools. Even there is a tool to read the PDF copy. There is a tool to know, like when you walk, then it will record all your things. So what's
Hmm.
the message? I mean, I find it absurd, like reading book online. I like book hard copy. What's your view?
Yes. Actually, I also don't like reading books on the Kindle or other things, other these apps, because it taxes the eyes. The eyes are, taxed very heavily, and one may even, face a problem in the eyes. Therefore, I don't like. And so far as AI is concerned, AI is walking. I too have those AIs in my phone, but I don't use them. I delete those AIs. For example, tracker, foot tracker, or step tracker, and there are so many others. I mean, reading a book on a mobile phone is not feasible. It's not. The best thing is to read books as they are, on paper, printed on paper.
Sir, what is uh, the recently like what has happened at Kumbh Fair? So you have seen almost 75 seasons. So I think sir, your birthday is in this month, February, if I am right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yes.
So, is it a usual practice of Kumbh like that people would die, or this year it is hyped like? What's your, how was the
Actually, I have never been to Kumbh Mela, although I have lived 75 years now. But the thing is that, uh, I mean, earlier also there were stampedes, but this year the stampede has been very severe and people have died. I think that more than 50 people have died there. So there can be many reasons. Actually, people don't, then they walk very swiftly, very speedily. So if a person does not walk speedily, then he or she is overpowered, falls down, and then others also come and they also fall on that person. So therefore, it is very unfortunate
what do
that
you think?
so many people have died.
Who is responsible?
Actually, the system, the arrangement. Although they have been quite good, but the local arrangements have not been so. The arrangements made during those days, and perhaps there was VIP traffic also during those days when the people died during that time.
Stampede has happened at three places. Yesterday, I also saw a video of a tower falling, and 22 people were injured due to that. I don't know how many
Hmm.
casualties have happened. Anyway, sir, coming to one important aspect of our Indian economy is agriculture. Farmers are not happy. There is a 20% GST on the tire of a tractor. So farmers are saying that this increase in the credit limit of Kisan credit will actually, it's a plan to take their lands actually. So government has put industrial products on the farmers. There is a no increase in the subsidy of urea this year. And what is your stand? I mean, you are also saying the farming from the uh, our traditional bull farming like hull, traditional that to tractors. Don't you think that government is supporting industries? I mean, is it really required? The tractor farming and ureas.
Actually, so far as urea etc. is concerned, the farmers do need this thing. They do need urea, and when the in 2014 this land, land acquisition was there was a bill. So I protested against that. I said that people who do not know anything about the life of the farmers, they should not say anything. They should not make any comments. I always, said that VIPs who do not know anything, who have not lived the life of farmers, they should not make unnecessary comments. So I never made any unnecessary comment on the Kisan, rallies and which are going on even now, because I don't know much about the life of a farmer. The only thing which I know is that once I went to Karnal and I went to a market there, and I was standing at the shop of an arti, and a farmer came and he said that he has to marry his daughter, so please give me my dues. So then that person said that you come next rainy season. When the rainy season starts next, then you come. So this is what he said. I was shocked that people, those who work throughout the year, day and night, in rain and heat and scorching heat, they work, but they are denied their payment. That is what shocked me. And I went there at least 40 years ago at Karnal. My Bua used to live there, so I had gone to her. So that's why I know this. The government should do something. Actually, asking for MSP, maximum sale price, is it may not be useful. The reason is that if the government guarantees that they will buy this much, then the government will buy only when it needs to sell it through the ration shops. Now they cannot sell, at the ration shops those goods which have been produced at a very high value, high price.
I tell you my experience. Like I am working on the economic theories. Like I am reading Karl Marx, Adam Smith, Dr. Ambedkar, all the economic things. I tell you my observation yesterday. Firstly, when I tried to find out the news from the perspective of the agriculturists, from the perspective of farmers, hardly you can find any news on YouTube. Like so, this means that our media is not giving proper like they constitute over half of our population. I mean, when you are not discussing their issues, what you are discussing? So less than half of the population depends upon capital, and but their stomachs depend upon over half of the population which are in the farming. And there was not even a 10-minute some debate or something I could find on farmers. But in those small videos, uh, there were some interviews of the farmers. What I found was what they are saying shows that they have more knowledge of economy. They know actual economy because they are actual producers of all this whole system, whether AI or industrialization or everything. Ultimately, everything
Mm.
depends upon human beings, and human beings depends upon food. But this is not
Yes.
recognized. And do you think that this new budget has also to do with elections tomorrow in Delhi? Like they want to uh, make the people who are voting in Delhi happier.
Actually, people in Delhi should vote for the new government, whichever government they want to bring in, whichever party they want to vote for. So, I mean, the people in the media, I don't think, many people know the real problems of the farmers. I mean, it's only when you live in a village, when you farm, when you plow the land, only then you come to know the real problems of a farmer. And since we are only buyers of their produce, whatever they produce, we buy at whatever rate it is available. So therefore, we do not know, we are the end users of their produce. So this difference has to be. This we have to know their plight. I mean, many farmers die, they hang themselves. And this was, the situation even during British days. The police used to come to demand taxes. The Hindi poems which I compiled from the National Archives, those Hindi poems written during the freedom struggle, they show that there is no food in the house of the farmers, but the police would come and demand lagan, as it is said. So if no lagan is paid, then they would arrest the head of the family or other persons and then take him away to the jail. So this condition of farmers has been there for the last at least more than 100 years. So this plight of the farmers has to be alleviated either by giving subsidy or by giving less costly equipment. Only then they can be helped. They cannot be helped in any other way except by giving cheap, you know, urea or whatever they need.
Next month is coming the birthday of Kashiram ji. So
Okay.
we know that Mayawati ji every year celebrates her birthday. Do you have any memories of Kashiram ji celebrating his birthday?
Yes, I used to go to 12 Rakabganj Road on his birthday and whenever it was celebrated. So after that, I lost touch because the office was shifted to Lucknow, and now I don't go there because when the door is closed, so there is no point in going.
Any interaction with him? Did you ever have any interaction with Kanshiram ji?
Yes, I had an interaction with him. Uh,
Any interesting thing you still have in your
yes,
memory?
actually, once when I did not know him that he is Mr. Kashira, I went to him. He was shoeing a shoe in a shop just opposite to my house, and there I saw that he was shoeing something. So I asked whether he would mend my shoe also. I sat there for a long time, and then he said he said that कि हम जूते बनाते हैं पहनने के लिए नहीं मारने के लिए. So I could not understand what he meant by that. So I came away. I did not know that he was the great leader Kanshiram. He said हम जूते बनाते हैं पहनने के लिए नहीं मारने के लिए. It was this was the interaction which I
I think
remember.
I
It
was
was
like quite frustrated with media at that time. I mean, media. I mean, if you remember in the 2019, media media was totally against. I mean, do you think that media was specific was used by the opposition parties to suppress Bahujan Samaj Party and its
yes. Actually, media was was quite opposite. Was against him because of that caste discrimination. The caste. Even if the president of India feels that his speeches won't be published by a government department of the government of India Publications Division, then you can easily guess as to what would have been the attitude of the media. And I mean, if a person of a high caste says that this magazine should not be purchased, then nobody would sell that magazine. Most of the sellers are also from the same caste. I have, I keep a very sharp eye on the sellers, people who sell. So it's they who don't sell. If they don't sell, then the publication would die. Although Mr. Kash started Bahujan Sangathak and the committed circulation, as Mr. Kanshiram himself said at Humayun Road, that the committed readership of that Bahujan Sangathak was 3 lakhs in Delhi and NCR. 3 lakhs is a big number of a daily newspaper, but it stopped. I don't know why it stopped. In fact, I was in my job in Delhi University. Otherwise, I would have done something to revive it.
I'm finishing this meeting today. Like the time is getting over. Thank you very much, sir. And I will come back to you and thank you for providing your precious time. And many of
Okay.
the people who don't know, sir, is having some problem in the throat. He had been gone through surgery. If I'm right, sir, you told me once many years back. So
Yes, yes.
you are able to give us time and guidance to the new generation. So I will come back to you to have more views for the younger generation in the next video. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No,
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Hind.